JessyG, where the possibilities never end.
Hi everyone, welcome to Creative Squirrel Studios, a fun creative twist where creatives get together, chat about behind the scenes tips, tricks, and ultimately just to squirrel out. I'm Jesse, founder of Studio JessyG, creative alchemist and brand strategist. My good friend here, Senor Sebastian, we met not too long ago and we instantly clicked. He has an amazing background in graphic design to all the way now to being a brand strategist consultant. Um, yeah, Sebastian, please take it away. Tell us like how you got to where you're at now and just any tips that you've learned along the way as being like a graphic designer.
Uh, well, thank you very much. I'm super happy to be here. I mean, all the way from Canada. It's snowing. Yeah. You know, uh, if I want to go really far in time, I have a love for design. Like since I think 5 years old, I wanted to be a designer, a graphic
Yeah.
designer. And the reason I'm going all the way there is because it's fully a part of who I am. I mean, any other job I could do in the world, I'm still going to do design
Yeah.
somehow. Okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I was a designer. I mean, I'm still at. I'm always
Yeah.
going to be for 40 years so far. And what I did the whole thing like working in agencies, working for companies. I worked in fashion, I worked in advertising, and I finished my whole career in as a director of communications. So I went all over the place,
Yeah.
and it was fun. It was just a lot of fun, a long career, but there was something that was eating at me. Yeah, I
Yeah.
just want to say that that feeling that we all have as designers, if we're talking to
Yeah.
designers right now,
Yeah.
is that that part in your mind where you start thinking, okay, my target audience is this kind of person, and I feel
Yeah.
this would fit this company, and you're thinking all of this stuff to help you create something that matches that person in front of you. But that
Yeah.
whole process, which is automatic for designers,
Yeah.
is what builds up a brand. It's, persona, the brand foundation, the brand, all the all the different elements that builds up a brand. That
Yeah.
process that we do in our heads, when you put it on paper, then it
Yeah.
becomes the tools that you could actually show the client that, hey, look, that's what it is. This
Yeah.
is what you need. So
Hmm.
it's weird because I had went through this whole moment, like I think it was 16, 17 years ago.
Hmm.
And at that time, I didn't know about brand strategy. It
Yeah.
wasn't really a thing then. Okay. So I was talking to all my friends in design, and I said, that feeling, that thing we do in our heads, and da, da, da. And he said, yeah, we don't get paid for that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, we don't. Yeah.
that whole thing, I said, I feel like this is something we should be doing. And
Yeah.
again, and so I was trying to find that what it was, and I
Yeah.
started doing research, and I found this thing in England that they were it's an agency that specialized in brand strategy. And
Ooh.
I said, "Wow, what is this?" And I was all
Yeah.
intrigued, so I started looking up at that, started buying books
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
stuff, and eventually, through time, what happened is that it got more concrete, and
Hmm.
I saw that it's a part of the process that is kind of separate from marketing,
Yeah.
and it's like a part that you do prior to actually designing,
Yeah.
and so it's really defining the brand and making sure that the client can
Yeah.
relate to it, that it relates to their typical kind, their target audience, and make sure that it works for them. So
Yep.
that part, which is you would think is boring because you had to type stuff, write stuff,
Yeah. Yeah.
um, it was maybe the most exciting part for me all of a sudden. It's
Man.
like I was like, all excited and started using the word branding. Instead of saying, "You want a logo? I can
Yeah.
make you a logo." Now I
Yeah.
hate the word logo. It sounds
No,
weird.
yeah.
Logo. Logo. It sounds weird.
Yeah.
Maybe it sounds African. I don't know.
Ah! No, oh,
But
I kind of want to piggyback off of you on that because you just made me think of a question that legit 2 days ago I was asked this of what makes a successful design. And I was
mm,
like, it's not aesthetics, I'll tell you that right now. Like, don't get me wrong, it does carry weight to it. And I was like, but we've
mm,
we've all fallen already into it, especially with social media. They could have like the worst graphics, but if there's no intentionality behind it, no
mm,
purpose, no like you know what I mean? If are you trying to be funny? Are you trying to be, you know what I mean? Um
mm,
yeah, like like you said it perfectly. It all is the back end part. It's all the up here part, and then once it translates, it clicks, right? Don't get me wrong. There is instances where I've seen like really pretty pictures, and I'm like, oh, that's cool, and I'll stare at it for a couple seconds, and then I'll just like move on, right?
mm,
Whereas like there's times where oh man, I'm gonna tell you this one that I saw that I was like, this is brilliant.
mm,
So I saw an ad that said about are you thinking about cutting your hair your to get bangs to cover your forehead lines? Not instantly, like I was like, excuse you, like that pulled a string on me. I was like, what? And then it like jumped into, well, for a limited time, we're having a Botox sale, for the first like, and I was like, that
oh.
was smart. And the visuals weren't amazing. But they were captivating because I was like, don't look, excuse you, you know what I mean? I was like, I wasn't thinking about bangs, but now I'm like, okay. And I was like, all right, well, let me look more into it. And I was like, it got me. And I was like,
Mm.
whoa, like little things like that. But what's your take on that when they say like, well, what's more important? Is it the visuals or is it something else when it comes to good design?
But I I actually use the word there's two aspects to me. I think it's important is the
Hmm.
feeling that you get. You know, like like when you see like a cool logo, okay? When it's a really nice logo,
Yeah.
it gives you an impression, you know. When it's a crappy logo, you kind of just go ew, and then you walk away.
Yeah.
But when it's something that has, like, oh, it looks, I love the way they use the font or the shape and everything like that.
Yeah.
Those are the moments where it stops you in your tracks. So
Yeah.
I think that feeling you get from the graphics is super important.
Yeah.
But also is that uh, when I think about branding, I think about the whole journey.
Yeah.
And yes, the graphics kind of brings you in, but it
Yeah.
doesn't tell the whole story. So now the words have to tell the word, the how the
Yeah.
words are doing. What if it's saying the message is saying, it has to connect with that person. And then from that, there's the experience you get either with, let's say, the business card, and there's a lot of negative space around it, and you just feel,
Yeah.
oh wow, this is beautiful, and that
Yeah.
experience you're getting, and then the experience you get on the website. Oh wow, love this
Yeah.
website.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then it ends up when you actually meet that person or go into the store or whatever.
Yeah.
That's the final nail in the coffin. Now
Yeah.
I'm in. I'm in.
Yeah. And then I wanted to ask you this too, because this was a subject that I do try a lot with like clients that I have, because I've noticed that there's a trend happening where the website is not that important. It's more of the social media. And I'm like, yes and no, in my opinion. Yes and no. I was like, because when I judge or when I try to go into a new business or I'm even going to like a restaurant, I'll go to their website and go there. And if I see the website is like, what happened here? You know what I mean? Then it's like, oh, okay, let me make sure and it correlates with like the reviews. But there's already like other steps that I'm doing. Whereas if like, if everything's already taken care of on the website, socials as well, recommendations, then it's like everything's like check, 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 check instead of
Yeah.
a but what do you think? Does
No,
websites
I
really
I
matter?
fully agree. I still think it's relevant, the website, because a website is the only thing that's you have control of.
Yep.
Social media, you don't. I mean, if they close, if all of a sudden Instagram closes their doors tomorrow, you have
Yeah.
no more space there. So this is one place where you can actually decide decide how you want to present it. You're
Yeah.
not deciding who's going to see it necessarily, but you kind of, yes, you are, because when the website is there, through SEO and all that stuff, it's going to attract the right people. And but I feel all these tools, because now we can't get away from social media,
Yeah. Yeah.
but it all has to work together. And the
Yeah.
website, even though it's maybe some people think it's old school,
Yeah.
it's not, because it's like the I would say, like uh, let's say you have a statue,
Yeah.
and and then under the statue you have like this a pedestal thing.
hmm hmm
But let's say that the website is that it's holding everything together.
Ooh, it's the foundation.
Yeah.
I like that. Ooh, I like that we're talking about foundation because this is another subject that like I'm very curious of what your opinion is. Um, Whenever there's clients that come to me or just businesses that I see that they're like, oh, let's just do rebrand or let's do this, let's do that. Like the aesthetics part of it, don't get me wrong, like I'm all for rebranding. That's great. Um, do you think those are more pillars or is that more a foundational issue that they need to address?
You mean for like a rebrand?
Yeah.
Um, but I actually do go through the whole process again. The
Mm-hmm.
reason I mean, like, understanding them, because who they were maybe 5 years ago is not
Mm-hmm.
necessarily who they are now.
Mm,
So even if it's a rebrand in the sense of making a fresh look of their logo and stuff like that, it
yeah.
might not be talking the same way it was before.
Yeah.
So it's not just a design work. I think you still need to understand, okay, the company where they are at now and where they
Yeah.
want to go.
Yeah.
Like that could have changed, and you want to know the target audience, and sometimes that changes too.
Yeah.
Maybe they were thinking, oh, we're gonna get people in their 40s, and then all of a sudden it changed to, oh, we're getting people 25 and up or something.
Yeah.
So you're changing the scope of it. So you have to remanage that a little bit and say, okay, this is what we need to do now. Because
Mm,
again, every step should have a reflection of what's happening. I don't think
yeah.
you should just, oh, well, it's just a rebrand, so we'll just take what you have and update. Maybe
Yeah.
we'll make a bigger flower or whatever, and some nonsense like that. And
Yeah.
then you do the thing, and it looks nice, but can I? I'm Canadian, okay?
Yeah.
I told you already. So I just want to tell you a quick story, okay?
Tell me,
There,
tell me.
there was a company that used to be called Miracle Mart. It's like
Okay.
a Walmart, but a smaller company.
Yeah.
This many years ago, like 30 something years ago.
Yeah.
So the company wasn't going so well. So they decided we need a rebrand. So they had this whole campaign. They paid a whole bunch of money, and they decided to change the name of the company to M Stores.
M stores.
So,
Okay.
so now they had M Store. So the new logo on all the stores and that all across Canada. Within a year, they went bankrupt
Oh
because
my
they didn't
God.
change anything else. They just plop a new logo on top, but didn't
Yeah.
fix they didn't look at what was the real problems. They didn't try to fix those issues. So it's
Yeah.
like that's why it's important to know what is happening before
Yep.
you do a rebrand, because you have to make sure that you're not going to alienate your current customers,
Yeah.
that you're bringing in new customers, because maybe the rebrand is because um, you feel like that you're out of date or something like that.
Yeah.
So you need to have that research done.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the key word that keeps popping up for me is going back to your values, your vision, and your mission, right?
Mm.
It's not just a pretty picture again, right? It's let's go back. Let's go back to basics. Let's see what's happened, what made the foundation kind of shaky. And if it is a rebrand that we need to do, that's fine. We could totally do it, but let's fix the root first. Because if the
Yeah.
foundation is shaky and we're just start putting pillars everywhere around, it's only going to
Mm.
crumble again. And then time and money has been wasted, right? And efforts.
Yeah.
Um, and that's something that I've seen like in some of the previous works that I've done, but when I was just the graphic designer, that I would see this. And it's so
Mm.
interesting because you brought it up that I feel like most designers, almost everybody that I've talked to that is a designer, we already have that mind already going, right? Where strategy's coming in and we could see the holes and stuff like that. We're like, something's not clicking. Especially when we're like, for me, when I'm designing something, it's like, okay, well, who am I designing it to? Who's the client?
Mm.
That way I could put myself in those shoes,
Mm.
get my mind working like as if I was, I don't know, like a realtor. You know what I mean? That wants to buy billion-dollar or sell million-dollar homes. It's not gonna look like, you know what I mean? It's gonna have a
Yeah.
different look, feel, tone. And like even now, I use ChatGPT. I train it to kind of have the same lingo as it would of like those type of
Mm.
clients. Of course, I don't rely on it fully because like there is sometimes where I'm like, that doesn't sound right, and I'll like edit it myself,
Yeah.
right? But and speaking of that, do you use ChatGPT or any
Oh yeah.
AI?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. He's my friend. Uh, no,
Do, have you named yours yet?
no, I just say, hey, chat.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah.
And I have conversations, but I I know its limits. It's
Yeah.
I use it as something to push ideas on. I don't
Yeah.
let it do everything. I just let it like I say, okay, this is what I'm thinking, blah 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 blah. Either I write
Yeah.
it or I actually say it, and I'm walking around and talking to it because I use it
Yeah.
almost like a note taker.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And so I just all my, like I said, okay, I was talking to this person. They have a company that does this, and they're the kind of person who love to be outdoors, and I say all my feelings and my impressions
Yeah.
of that person, and then and what I envision for
Yeah.
them. So I
Yeah.
put all that stuff in there, and then ChatGPT just takes all my notes and makes it in nice sentences.
Yeah.
And then I go back and forth. I like that, but I don't like that. And this is
Mm-hmm.
what I meant, and this and then I keep going and making iterations of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's just for basically to make sure my ideas are all put in a one place and
Yeah.
neat and clean.
Neat and clean. Yeah, I like that. I do want to go back a little bit because there was something that I was like, oh, I want to put a pin on this because you mentioned it. You've been a designer since you were a kid, since you were 5 years old. And that tugged on my heart because that was me too. Like I remember, do you remember the Paint program from Microsoft or from Windows?
Oh my God, yeah,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. Yeah, I just showed my age there, but I
but
remember as a kid, I would draw on the walls, right? And my mom, as punishment, she would give me like a rag to kind of clean it off. And me being, a creative person, I was like, oh, look, an empty canvas again, so I get to draw again. I know, I know. My mom was very like, I don't know what to do with you. So instead, the family computer. She sat me down and she's like, here's something you could paint on. And it was,
oh,
yeah. And now I was like, and now, like when I've done my whole schooling, like, college and stuff, like all my titles, I just gave them to her because I was like, if it wasn't for
oh,
you sitting me down in front of the computer, I don't know, where life would have taken me because I was already a designer before I thought I was a designer. So I kind of
but
want to see, how did you start? Because
well, see, I'm older, okay?
yeah,
I'm a lot older. So there was no computers. So um, everything I did by hand.
yeah,
So when I was a kid, I created my own community newspaper. And so I used to have a little typewriter.
yeah,
So I used to draw the stuff, type everything, use those carbon paper.
yeah,
You ever
yeah,
heard of that, those things? Okay.
yeah,
So, and then make copies that way. Because it didn't have photocopy places
no,
then.
yeah,
So it was a very long process, but it was the only process I had as a little kid.
yeah,
And but I wanted to be at the time because I could draw.
yeah,
Okay. So I would draw and draw my letters, my fonts. I would create my own fonts at the time.
yeah,
And uh, I would just create all these things. Like I used to have, like when you're selling lemonade. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
So I used to sell lemonade outside on the street, and I used to create these like little animation things. Um, Basically, it was like sheet of paper like this,
Yeah.
folded in two, and
Yeah.
then there's one drawing. Let's say of a hammer that's
Yeah.
up like this,
Yeah.
and here had the hammer down.
Yeah.
So when you did it quickly, it made
Yeah.
an animation. So I made
Yeah.
a whole bunch of those and stuck them on a piece of cardboard and sold them for 25 cents.
Oh my God. I love that. That's very like Disney type of thing when they would
Yeah.
do their cartoons. Oh my God. And it's so crazy because I love watching like the behind the scenes of when they would do stuff. And a lot of the stuff they would recycle, right? But it was just oh man, it's just really cool to kind of see the traditional way of how they would design it. And then now like too, like all the new
Yeah.
stuff that they're doing animation wise or all the new gadgets of how they got from being traditional to here, and they could still go back to being traditional. And I was like, oh man, that's so cool. Um,
Yeah.
that artistic ability, and I honestly don't think that us as creatives, like specifically like graphic designers, we don't really lose that touch of going traditional. Because
No,
there's
I
times where
hope
I'm
not.
like,
I hope not.
right, no,
I still love the because I did everything when I started. I was you had a I had I was working on a Macintosh, okay, for the
yeah,
Macintosh. So it was
yeah,
this little screen this big, and it was this big, the computer.
yeah,
And so what I had to do is print out the stuff, cut
yeah,
it, put it
yeah,
on a piece of a board, then
yeah,
glue it and put crop marks, and then you send that to get to the printer so that they
yeah,
would make films. And
hmm,
so everything was very old school.
yeah,
Uh, and I loved it because it was very artisanal. It was like, you know, glue and then after the spray. Oh, then got the spray gun. Then the spray
yeah,
gun, spray can,
yeah, yeah,
the glue, and then you just do all those things, and then little by little, that went away. You could do it directly on the computer, and then you send
yeah,
the file. Oh wow, that was great! And then you,
yeah,
you had to put the file on a disk, in
hmm,
the old days, and then you would send it to the printer, and I don't know, it
yeah,
was a whole series of things. And look at us today.
yeah.
We can make a movie. I could make a movie right as we speak.
Yeah. Just typing in a couple prompts and then like really get creative with those prompts and where I want the camera to be, what kind of mood or what kind of tone or anything like that. And boom, within like less than a couple minutes, I'm already watching like a clip that I created. And I'm like, wow, where we're going. And I was like, that's
Yeah.
so cool. Well, my
Well,
last and final question that I kind
I
of
was
wanted
going to
to
ask,
ask you.
well, right
No,
before you ask, I just want to ask you, what
tell me.
what got you to do graphic design? I'm
Uh,
curious.
It was, oh man, it was just the whole trajectory of things. And this is the thing that always makes me chuckle whenever I talk to other designers. It's like, it's not linear. Everything's always like, it gets pushed or from my experience, it got pushed into my walkway. And I was like, oh, okay, let's see that. So I had always drawn as a kid. And I would always do like little characters and things like that.
Mm,
And I remember when I was like in high school, whenever they would bring, kind of like those college recruiters to come in to talk about your
mm,
career. Someone came in and talked about animation, and I was like, I would love to be part of Pixar and do the
mm,
next Toy Story. That was I was focused.
yeah.
And so I was like, okay, cool. I'll do something like that. Well, I ended up doing my background in digital arts animation. Learned how to do the traditional claymation or stop motion, drawing it all out, understanding 24, what is it, 24 pictures is one second or
Yeah,
something like
one
that.
second.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I this was a long time ago. No, I was like, yeah, I just remembered every drawing I did. It was a stack of papers like that just to do a
Yeah.
minute. And I was like, "Oh my God, this was a lot." But it was fun. So much fun. Great learning experience. And then one of the classes that I took as like a supportive course, it was
Mm,
graphic design. And I was like, "Well, I'm just
mm,
going to take this just so a supportive course or as an elective." And when I took it, I was like, "Wait, hold on. I like this too, you know? So I kind of took the next course from there and I started going from there and there and there. And then once then web design come into the mix too. So now I'm like, oh wait, I know the video. I know how to
Mm,
edit video. I know the graphic design aspects too. And then here comes web design. I was like, wait, I like this all because they all kind of, though they're different, completely,
mm,
respect. They're all different. They all kind of blend in a weird way together, right? Like aesthetically wise.
mm,
And same too, like sometimes like the messaging behind it, they all kind of blend in together. I think the biggest takeaway I've had throughout this journey is like though they're different, the emotion stays the same. That
mm,
whatever I want to, if it's like a sad story that I need to do like as a flyer or as a social graphic or something else, like yeah, there's mood to it. There's that gloominess. That's
mm.
um even the verbiage, it's a little more sadder. Where like the more positive one, you get the burst of sunlight, you get, the big bright colors and then even the font's a little bit more funky, not Comic Sans, but it's more funky. But you know what I mean? Like it's fun. But I realized that it's like the emotion stays the same in all, even web design, right?
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's been a fun journey. Definitely a lot of twists and turns, up and down, and roller coaster. But we're all here, right? And it's still
Oh,
it's still a learning experience because now
oh yeah.
that I,
Always.
same like you, once I heard the word brand strategy, it was presented to me at my one of my previous jobs that I had. They're like, we hired you as a graphic designer, but we're going to push you into a brand strategy. I'm like, what is that? You know what I mean? And so they started explaining it to me, and I was like, oh, I already do that. You know? I was like, this is okay. I was like, okay, cool. I was like, now it's just more using the psychology behind it, more
Yeah.
strategy behind it, rather than just what do you need me to design type of
Mm.
thing. It's me taking the wheel and really using my expertise of what I've learned throughout my years and
Oh,
continue to learn, right? And doing more research. So almost the same like you, right? Like it was just presented to
oh,
you, right?
we we got a lot of similarities in our background. Like I did animation too, and
Yeah,
oh yeah, I did a lot of contests and stuff like that.
yeah,
So yeah, I loved animation. I wanted to go to Walt Disney at the time,
yeah,
but then I saw I love fonts. I
yeah,
love typography, so that
yeah.
changed everything.
I remember there was one thing that really like changed the course for me. It was in that graphic design class. We had to design a flyer and they were talking
Mm.
about like the basics of hierarchy. And I was like, interesting. And I was like, okay, what do you mean? And sure enough, like, where the t text is placed and, which one you look at first, which one you look at second, then third, and then how the image, like if you're doing like a product, how it complements it, and then um, oh man, what's that? Like the grid, the golden grid of like how your eye is supposed to go through it
Oh
all
yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff like that.
It's
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
yeah because your eye goes here, then you
Yeah.
come back, and then you go back like that.
Yeah, yeah, and the smoother you have like everything placed, it's music. And I was like, "Oh, I could see exactly what you're talking about, right?" And I almost felt like slow motion when she was telling me all this. I heard the wah 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 wah, wah, but I still was able to see it like, "Oh, that's
Mm,
so cool." And then
mm.
that was the turning point for sure of like, let's give this a shot.
Oh
So,
well.
yeah, it's been a
Welcome to the fold.
yeah. Welcome to the Matrix. Right? But no, and speaking of that, of like more of like our history, what would be something you would tell your younger self, like in regards to like where
Oh.
you've gone through now?
Hmm. What I would say to me, I would say that keep learning
Hmm.
and keep trying things that are uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Because when you were talking about web, I remember a point of time, I had no idea how to do web, but I loved Flash. I don't know if you know that.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
could do animation, so I loved it. So I
Yeah.
did a lot of Flash, but I was asking somebody else to do my HTML.
Mm-hmm.
And so what ended up happening is that I had a client and I was waiting for on the person for to do the HTML.
Yeah.
And it took so long that I lost the client.
Mm,
So I wasn't happy about that.
yeah.
And then I said, now I have to learn this myself because I can't depend on somebody else.
Yeah.
And then I learned it and I said, oh, that's it. It was so simple. So I
Yeah.
said, I could have done this. It would have taken me a half an hour and I would have been done. But
Yeah.
so yeah,
I,
so that's why. But I had the fear of, oh, this sounds looks complicated. There's a whole bunch of words and
yeah.
numbers and stuff like that. So uh,
Yeah.
the fear of it stopped me from wanting to learn it.
Oh man.
But now I'm gonna learn this. I'm gonna learn that. Like
Yeah.
PHP or a new software. I'm not afraid of anything now because
Oh man. See, I need to pick your brain more on that. And that's another talk for another day, but you said it perfectly, fear. And I remember I met this one really interesting guy. And I'll just tell you the whole backstory because it makes it even funner. I was volunteering at the one of the homeless shelters as far as like feeding them for dinner. And I was in charge of the cupcake station, which I was like, heck yeah, that's me. I like the sweets. And this guy approached me, and we were already towards the end of the shift, and he's like, can I give another one? And I was like, sure, that's fine. So I gave him another one. We ended up just chatting it up, and he was just telling me about, the situation that he's in, that, unfortunately this is where he's at, and that he's moving out, and he's like, but you know what really got me to be here? And I was like, what's that? And then he's like, fear. And I was like, interesting. And he's like, but you know what fear means? And I was like, kind of, but well, like, you tell me, what does it mean? And he's like, false evidence appearing real. And I was like, wow.
oh, I love
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, I was like, wow. I was like, you need to put that on a shirt, dude. And I was like, interesting. Okay. And he's like, so, and though it seems real, it's not. And he's like, because especially
Yeah,
when it like that voice in your head of saying like, well, what if? What if it goes this way? That's not
yeah,
real.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's because in reality, the only person that's stopping you is you,
Hmm.
nobody else. So, see, I stopped myself from learning it, but then when I decided to do it, when you make that decision in your life, you kind of like everything becomes available to you,
Yeah.
and like the fear of being ridiculed, the fear of looking stupid, there's always those kind of things, and why should you care? I mean, it's like when you realize, oh, I just want to be me and
Yeah.
learn everything I need to learn and try everything I want to try. And when you make that decision, you just benefit of, like the world becomes your oyster, like they say.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
and I've taken on that attitude, and I've gotten where I got in my career because I wasn't afraid. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, I want to do this. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Let's go.
And so
Yeah. So that would be your advice. Just don't be fearful. Just go with it. Go with the
yeah,
flow. Yeah. Um, the worst thing that could happen is that it's not for you and that's it. When you move
yeah,
on to something else, right?
exactly.
Yeah.
You won't die.
Yeah. That's a perfect one. But did you die? And I'm like, no, you didn't. All right, Sebastian. Well, thank you so much for joining me on my podcast. I'm really excited for everybody that gets the chance to really experience you and, and just your life experiences. Because even when we chatted with one of the first times, I was like, I need to talk to you more. I need to pick your brain more. Just because you have so much value and experiences to give to others, especially those who are still stuck in, I don't know where to go. It's like
Mhm.
just choose and move. You'll be fine. You won't die.
Exactly. Thank you so much for having me. It was a lot of fun. It's
Yeah,
always going to be fun talking with you.
yeah. Thank you. We'll chat soon. And as far as people reaching out to you, if they want to pick your brain more, I'll go ahead and add all your LinkedIn or your stats at the bottom
Cool.
of the description. So yeah, so be prepared if anybody reaches out and be like, hey, I need to pick your brain more.
All right.
All right, Sebastian, thank you so much. Have a beautiful one.
All right.